A month after Xiao Yan and Yao Chen secluded themselves in a cave for cultivation, the protagonist's veins bulged as he broke through to the rank of 6-star Du practitioner. Before he could revel in his accomplishment, his teacher reminded him of his appointment with Nalan Yanren, which was only a year away, stressing the importance of utilizing his time wisely. Outside the mountain range of magical beasts, the wolf-head mercenary band searched for Xiao Yan, whose head carried an 8,000 gold coin bounty. Annoyed by them, Xiao Yan dislodged a large boulder, causing a commotion. A sleeping magical beast, awakened and enraged, charged out and swatted at the mercenaries. Seeing the beast about to finish off one of them, Xiao Yan intervened, using his heavy ruler to block the attack. He then told the beast to leave the mercenary to him, but the beast, unable to understand, continued its assault. Left with no choice, Xiao Yan subdued the beast. After dealing with the magical beast, Xiao Yan spoke with the mercenary he had saved, learning that Mu Lai had set traps all over the mountain. Armed with this information, Xiao Yan eliminated the mercenary, recognizing that the game was just beginning. The next morning, Xiao Yan, armed with his blade, swiftly eliminated over a dozen of Mu Lai's soldiers sent to find him. Fighting from dawn till dusk, he encountered a group of mercenaries bad-mouthing their leader. Seizing the opportunity, he inquired about the strongest fighters in the wolf-head mercenary band. Learning that the third commander, an 8-star Du practitioner named Himong, was at the foot of the mountain, Xiao Yan immediately set off to find him. The scene shifts to the wolf-head mercenary band's encampment. The leader and his son, upon learning of their soldier's demise at Xiao Yan's hands, devised a new plan to capture him. Meanwhile, the Wan Yaozhai decided to spread rumors that Xiao Yixian possessed a lost medical scripture and the Xuan rank Du Kai cultivation method of a powerful expert. Hoping to use greedy individuals to harm her, the leader then sent for the third commander, Himong, but was informed that Himong, infatuated with a woman, had gone into the mountains to capture a snow fox, disregarding his duties. The scene shifts to the third commander's camp. Just as he was about to engage in intimacy with a woman, a soldier suddenly crashed in. Enraged, Himong rushed outside to find Xiao Yan standing alone, challenging him. The two clashed, with the portly Himong using his size to his advantage, overwhelming Xiao Yan with close-quarters combat. Seeing Xiao Yan weakened, Himong prepared to deliver a final blow. Just as the fat man was about to unleash a finishing move to obliterate Xiao Yan, he received a swift punch to the face, sending him flying 10 meters. Undeterred, he scrambled up, grabbed a rock, and threw it at Xiao Yan, but to no effect. Xiao Yan then moved with lightning speed behind the fat man and hit him with the 8 Extremes Ice Blast, causing his body to explode like fireworks. Seeing his subordinates return with Himeng's coffin, Lang Tu was enraged and swore to tear Xiao Yan to shreds. He ordered all those with 5-star strength or above to search the magical beast mountain range for Xiao Yan's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Xiao Yixian was receiving a visitor who inquired about her and Xiao Yan's trip to the cave to search for treasure. She quickly denied seeing any treasure, blaming Lang Tu's mercenary group, and urged the gentleman to leave. At that time, Xiao Yan and his teacher were training in the mountains. Xiao Yan witnessed his teacher demonstrate the formidable flame-splitting wave chain, a powerful earth-ranked fighting skill using the Xuanzhong ruler. His teacher then taught him the skill, warning him only to use it as a last resort. Xiao Yan was deeply grateful. As dusk fell, Xiao Yan, engrossed in his cultivation, heard the sound of a flute. He stood up and looked around to find himself surrounded by Lang Tu's men. They threatened him, demanding the key to the treasure chest. When Xiao Yan refused, Lang Tu ordered a volley of arrows. Xiao Yan deftly deflected the arrows with a single sweep of his hand, then leaped over the heads of the soldiers and fled, taunting them as he ran. The enraged soldiers pursued him from morning until night. Finally, cornered by Mu Shi and his troops, Xiao Yan found himself with no escape. Mu Shi, eager to kill him, charged forward with his blade, sending Xiao Yan flying 10 meters and smirking triumphantly. Remembering the technique his teacher had just taught him, Xiao Yan scrambled to his feet. He drew the Xuanzhong ruler, channeled his Du Kai, and unleashed the flame-splitting wave chain, striking towards Mu Shi. Mu Shi's defense crumbled, his entire army sent sprawling. He himself struggled to remain standing. Exhausted from the effort, Xiao Yan, his face pale, tumbled into a deep ravine. Suddenly, a pair of mysterious purple wings sprouted from his back. Waking from his coma after last night's battle with Mu Shi, Yuan found himself beside the heart-protecting armor and a Do technique scroll. He realized Yunjai had helped him and called out her name, but there was no response. Yao Chen appeared, telling his foolish student that Yunjai had left an even greater gift. The old teacher revealed that Yunjai had risked herself to heal Yuan, using her own body to channel Du Kai into him in the gentlest way possible. She even guided him in subduing the fallen heart flame, leading to his complete recovery and a significant increase in strength. Yao Chen then picked up the Xuan tier movement Do technique from Yuan's hand, urging him to train harder if he hoped to defeat Mu Shi. Hearing this, the eager young man asked his teacher to quickly teach him the technique. His master warned that relying on the fallen heart flame to advance to Do, she would only turn him to ashes. He instructed Yuan to hunt more than 5 first-tier magical beasts within the next month to stabilize the chaotic Du Kai within his body. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to absorb any different flames he encountered in the future. In the forest, 2 brothers were fleeing the pursuit of Second Commander Gan Mu when they encountered Yuan. Learning that the second commander of the Wolf-Head mercenary band was nearby, Yuan prepared to fight. However, as he leaped onto a branch, it snapped under his weight, causing him to stumble. In the distance, Gan Mu approached, leading a cavalry unit. As he came into view, Yuan kicked him, sending him sprawling. Before Gan Mu could react, he received another punch to his face. Enraged, he charged at Yuan, but it was like an egg striking a rock. After easily defeating him, Yuan turned and asked, "Do you know who my father is?" Only after learning his opponent's identity did Gan Mu draw his weapon for a decisive battle. Ultimately, he still fell to Yuan's blade. However, Gan Mu used Yixian's whereabouts as a distraction and attempted to take Ling hostage. Yuan swiftly intervened, leaving Gan Mu's fate uncertain, though it was clear this day would mark his demise. With the matter settled, Yuan rushed off to rescue Yixian. Night fell upon the Hall of Assorted Treasures. A young man, leaping from the rooftops, entered Yixian's room, intending to take her away from the premises. He wanted her safe so he could deal with the Wolf-Head mercenary band undisturbed. Yixian, upon hearing his plan, quickly offered him a cup of tea and they discussed how to handle the situation. As they were engrossed in their youthful conversation, Mr. Yao entered with a group of subordinates. Yixian introduced Yuan as her older brother. Playing along, he stepped forward, stating his intention to take his sister away. One of the subordinates, recognizing Yuan, slipped away to inform the Mu father and son duo of his whereabouts. Despite being bribed, Mr. Yao showed no intention of letting the siblings leave. He persistently pressured Yixian to hand over the 7-colored poison sutra. He also revealed that he had poisoned Yuan upon entering the room. However, his cunning was no match for Yixian's. She had already neutralized the poison with the tea she offered earlier and, in a clever twist, had poisoned Mr. Yao through his chair. Fearing for his life, the greedy Mr. Yao released them both in exchange for the antidote. Once freed, Yixian went outside and summoned Little Flame to escort them away. Apparently finding life too peaceful, our protagonist then single-handedly sought out the Wolf-Head mercenaries' hideout to challenge Mu Shi and his son. Wielding his blade, he bravely charged in, swiftly eliminating a group of soldiers. With a cool whistle, Little Flame and the beautiful Yixian descended from the sky, providing support by poisoning the remaining mercenaries. She briefly landed to caution him to be careful before departing again. Seeing his men fall, Mu Shi himself took up arms and attacked. He attempted to steal Yuan's heavy ruler, but failed, instead receiving a palm strike from Yuan's 8 extreme ice, causing him to cough up blood. Left with no choice, Mu Shi resorted to his newly mastered ultimate technique, hoping to defeat him. However, a side character could hardly overcome the protagonist's aura. With a single move, flame-splitting wave ruler, Yuan successfully defeated Mu Shi. While celebrating with Yixian, he was suddenly ambushed by a surviving mercenary. Fortunately, the mystical heart armor, a gift from Yuan, protected him from the fatal blow, saving his life. And so, after numerous trials and tribulations, he and Yixian flew away on Little Flame's back, seeking a secluded place to recuperate. As promised, Zhao Yixian led Zhao Yan to a small valley brimming with abundant energy. The ground was covered in medicinal herbs, attracting both alchemists and cultivators. Life in the mountain valley flowed peacefully. One day, Yao Chen informed Zhao Yan of second-stage ice demon beasts within the mountains. While hunting, Zhao Yan encountered Misslinger and Ka Gang, who were being pursued by Cam Mu. Unluckily, they were then hunted by a second-stage ice snow demon beast. Seeing injustice, Zhao Yan intervened, swiftly defeating the beast with a single strike. However, it lacked a second-stage demon core. Knowing Zhao Yan desperately needed one, Miss Xingyi, to repay him for saving their lives, gifted him her own demon core from her necklace. Upon returning home, Zhao Yan found Zhao Yixian collapsed. She suffered from a rare and incurable condition, the aching poison body requiring her to consume poison to enhance her strength. If one day the poison couldn't suppress the toxic Du Kai in her body, it would cause excruciating pain, eventually leading to a slow, agonizing death. Seeing his beloved in such a state, Zhao Yan felt helpless. When she awoke, he vowed to care for her and find a cure for her aching poison body, promising to travel the Du Kai continent with her once she recovered. One fine day, Zhao Yixian invited Zhao Yan for a stroll. As they admired butterflies together, she wistfully remarked on the fleeting nature of beauty, wishing to stay by Zhao Yan's side forever. Zhao Yan promised to remain by her side until he found a cure. Suddenly, rain poured down, but Yixian didn't want to return. She urged him to take care of himself and always be cautious, then leaned her head on his shoulder. The next morning, after gathering herbs, Zhao Yan returned home to find Zhao Yixian gone. On the table lay a farewell letter. Life's encounters are like a dream. May the moonlight shine upon you. I have my own path to follow. Please do not seek me. Knowing that the aching poison body was incurable, she had left to avoid wasting Zhao Yan's time. Overwhelmed with grief, he searched frantically but found no trace of her, finally collapsing in tears, vowing to one day find a cure for her affliction. After Zhao Yixian's departure, Zhao Yan finally awoke from his dormant state. Within a few days, he mastered the use of the purple flame, absorbing it with the burning scripture and successfully advancing to a 1-star dushi. He and his teacher planned a journey to the Tager Desert in search of a different kind of strange fire Yihuo. The only way to reach the desert was by riding a Gale Rock, a creature found only in Black Rock City. He and Yao Chen decided to travel there and join the Alchemist Guild, aiming to obtain an alchemist certification. This would allow them to enlist the guild's help in finding a Tier 3 magic core needed to refine the Blood Lotus Pill, which was essential for approaching the Yihuo. However, 3 crucial components were required to absorb the Yihuo, and the Blood Lotus Pill was only one of them. The second was the Ice Spiritual Cold Spring, which would protect the internal organs from the destructive heat of the Yihuo. The last was the Soul Nurturing Jade, which could create a special small space within the body to store the Yihuo. Upon entering the guild hall, Zhao Yan, lacking a letter of recommendation from his teacher, was stopped by guards. Nearby, the arrogant master and disciple duo, Lin Fei, also arrived to take the Tier 1 Alchemist exam. Knowing that Ao Chuo was the vice president of the Black Rock City Alchemist Guild, the guards immediately allowed them entry. However, Zhao Yan was still left outside and even mocked by a man in purple who appeared out of nowhere. Thinking quickly, Zhao Yan seized the opportunity to condense real fire and punish the man, inadvertently demonstrating his alchemic prowess. The guards, who had previously looked down on him, now respectfully invited him inside. As the examination time approached, Zhao Yan requested the guild's assistance in locating some medicinal ingredients. The 2 grandmasters chuckled, suggesting he first pass the examination. Just then, Zhu Mei arrived. The alchemist examination officially began. There were no requirements regarding the rank of the medicinal pill, only that a pill be successfully formed within the half-hour time limit. Zhao Yan successfully refined the Kai-boosting powder and, along with the 2 beautiful women, passed the examination. However, not content, the protagonist decided to take the Tier 2 Alchemist examination. For this exam, Lin Fei chose the Refining Restoration Pill, a high-level Tier 2 medicinal pill, as the test subject. Before everyone, Zhao Yan summoned his purple flame and began refining. Within the cauldron, the shape of a pill gradually emerged. Under the intense heat of the flames, the cauldron suddenly exploded with a loud bang, emitting thick black smoke. When the time was up, Xiao Yan pulled out a lump of black earth, causing Lin Fei to burst into laughter and mock him. However, he wasn't finished. With a puff of breath, the layer of earth dispersed, revealing a high-quality Tier 2 medicinal pill, astonishing everyone. He succeeded thanks to the two grandmasters who had agreed to help him find the Tier 3 magic core and the ice spiritual cold spring. To find the ingredient needed to refine the strange fire, Bingling Han Quan, Xiao Yan joined the Alchemist Guild. After changing into the guild robes and putting on his badge, he entered a room to meet two high-ranking alchemists. Bingling Han Quan is a rare and precious natural treasure, and with his current strength, the two masters couldn't understand why he needed it. Xiao Yan didn't answer their questions, only stating that he would leave the city the next morning for the eastern border of the empire. Master Ao Chuo searched all transaction records within the Jiama Empire but couldn't find any useful information. The protagonist sighed, about to leave, when Ao Chuo called him back and led him to a gloomy, dilapidated house. Ao Chuo really didn't want to take him there, but the young man's determination left him no choice. Inside the house, Ao Chuo warned Xiao Yan to be careful, but the boy promptly triggered several traps. Fortunately, the master was there to disarm them. Ao Chuo had just warned him not to look directly at the Mei Zin Mo cow, lest he suffer hallucinations, and now, sure enough, Xiao Yan was experiencing them. The fat old man somehow transformed into a voluptuous woman in his vision. As the master led him upstairs, he muttered complaints about the young man learning useless tricks instead of proper alchemy. Suddenly, a strange, loud laugh echoed, mocking Ao Chuo. It was Gu He, the president of the Alchemist Guild, who then kicked a stone door, hurting his own foot in the process. Furious, he unleashed his Du Kai, demonstrating a dueling's strength as he blasted the door open, flattening it. Inside, the room was filled with a rich collection of rare medicinal ingredients. Turning around, Xiao Yan was startled by the eccentric old man standing behind him. Ao Chuo explained the situation to Gu He, who was known for his peculiar collection, leaving it up to Xiao Yan to negotiate a trade for the Bingling Han Quan. Before leaving, Ao Chuo threatened Gu He, saying that if anything happened to his protege, he would publicize Gu He's entire collection of rare treasures, ensuring the old man would be hounded by countless people. Alone with Gu He, Xiao Yan offered a ban Shanghai Jing Yuan as a trade. The greedy old man tried to haggle for more, but Xiao Yan, keeping a cool head, pretended to leave. Just as he reached for the door, Gu He stopped him, agreeing to the exchange. He snatched the ban Shanghai Jing Yuan and handed over a container holding the Bingling Han Quan. It seemed even the eccentric old man kept his word. After the exchange, he promptly ushered Xiao Yan out. Back on the street, Xiao Yan saw someone riding a flying mount and felt a pang of envy for Xiao Yixian, resolving to get his own flying pet. Suddenly, a commotion erupted ahead. A third-rank alchemist was bullying someone. The alchemist's disciple noticed Xiao Yan and approached him, but Ao Chuo appeared behind Xiao Yan seemingly out of nowhere. Lan Fei also rushed over, clinging to Xiao Yan's arm, followed by Flank and Zhu Mei. Ao Chuo gave Xiao Yan the third-tier magic core he needed and mentioned the Grand Alchemist Conference to be held in the capital in 6 months, the most important event for alchemists in the Jiama Empire, attracting even alchemists from other empires. Xiao Yan agreed to attend if he was free. While he was still pondering how to acquire a flying mount, the deputy guild leader informed him that alchemists could use the guild's flying services for free, including special services. Bidding farewell, Xiao Yan boarded a massive flying creature and soared into the sky. It seemed trouble didn't seek out Xiao Yan. It simply shifted from one person to another, always finding him. The 5th grade medicinal pill, Blood Lotus Pill, used to devour different flames, higher grade than 4th grade pills, upon formation, exhibits phenomena that are fatally attractive to many. Xiao Yan, riding his flying mount on a rooftop, journeyed towards the Tagar Desert. Looking at his teacher sitting behind him, he couldn't resist the urge to persuade him to refine the Blood Lotus Pill. A 5th grade pill, even the entire Jiama Empire, probably only Pill King Gu He could refine it. Back in his room, he retrieved the necessary medicinal ingredients for his teacher to refine while he observed and learned. As the pill neared completion, those with ill intentions, sensing the commotion, approached Xiao Yan's door. To prevent his teacher from being distracted during the final stages of refinement, Xiao Yan stood guard outside. 3 individuals approached, causing trouble. Sensing the energy fluctuations, they used the excuse of potential danger to try and enter his room. When the young man refused, they attempted to gang up on him. But he was the protagonist, after all, and wouldn't let them pass so easily. Xiao Yan effortlessly repelled the first 2, but a third-grade alchemist, seized the opportunity to slip into the room. However, Yao Chen was no pushover. He used his strange fire to seize the bald man, crushing him to death. Unable to fight against his master, the fool tried to take Xiao Yan hostage, but before he could act, he was betrayed and killed by the remaining attacker. This last one kowtowed, begging for mercy from the 2 powerful figures. Once Yao Chen left, he detonated Xiao Yan's flying mount. Miraculously, Xiao Yan survived the night and, having seen the true nature of people, resolved to be more decisive in the future. Sitting by the fire, his teacher reminded him that no matter how ferocious magical beasts are, they are no match for the wickedness of the human heart. Finally, he arrived at his destination, the Tagar Desert's training ground. There, he saw Yun Jai happily playing, but when she turned around, it was Nailin Yanren. She stabbed him, piercing right through him. Xiao Yan jolted awake. It had all been a dream. He anxiously voiced his worries. If he lost in 3 years, he would lose not only his own dignity, but also that of his clan. Yao Chen told him there are no true experts in this world, only those who strive to become stronger. To wield a sword, one must first let go of their burdens. While his disciple's talent was not low, the key was the effort he put into achieving future success. The next morning, in the scorching desert heat, Xiao Yan came across a shop. He entered, following Yao Chen's instructions, to buy a desert map, water, and snake repellent. Inside, an old gentleman was writing something, ignoring him, so the young man searched for the items himself. Amazingly, he stumbled upon a fragmented map of the purifying lotus demon flame. Just then, the old gentleman asked if he was looking for a desert map. Xiao Yan inquired about other fragmented maps like the one he held. The old man said he didn't have any, explaining that he'd found this one by chance in the desert. He refused to sell it and advised Xiao Yan to forget about the fragmented map. Facing a Du Huang expert, the young man couldn't possibly steal it anyway. It turned out this old man was Ice Emperor Hai Badong, one of the previous generation's top 10 Du Huang experts of the Jiama Empire. He even fought against the former sect leader of the Misty Cloud sect. During a tournament of experts held by the Jiama and Shuyan empires, he single-handedly fought against 2 Du Huangs from the opposing side. Afterward, the Ice Emperor gradually disappeared from the public's eye. The old man, noticing the young man had discerned his true strength, released his Du Kai pressure, sealing the doorway. Yao Chen, observing the situation, realized that although the old man possessed Du Huang's strength, he was suppressed and could only utilize Du Ling power. Despite this, killing Xiao Yan would still be as easy as flipping a hand for him. Seeing Xiao Yan's determination to obtain the item and his attempt to seize it, the old man froze the surrounding area. The icy mist he emitted slowed Xiao Yan down, allowing him to easily knock the young man away. Determined to get what he wanted, Xiao Yan, despite coughing up blood, continued to charge forward, confronting the old man. Unable to fight against the high-level expert, Xiao Yan tried to escape using his purple cloud wings, but he was blocked by the old man's barrier. One was determined not to hand over the map, the other was equally determined to obtain it. Yao Chen used his soul power to give Xiao Yan a boost, allowing him to fight the old man on more even footing. Even though the old man created an ice vortex, Xiao Yan, using his teacher's heavenly flame, managed to trap him within a block of ice. The old man, who had been in seclusion for 20 years, was shocked to be so thoroughly defeated by a youngster. He revealed that he had found the map after much effort and had split it into 2 pieces, causing Xiao Yan to pause. To obtain the remaining piece, Xiao Yan released the old man from the ice. The old man revealed his name as Hai Bodong, the Ice Emperor, much to Xiao Yan's astonishment. Years ago, Hai Bodong encountered Medusa, queen of the snake tribe in the Tagar Desert. She was a peak Du Huang expert, and Hai Bodong was defeated by her. Furthermore, he was afflicted by a snake-sealing curse, which restricted his strength to the Du Ling level. Having witnessed Xiao Yan using the fallen heart flame, he proposed a deal. If Xiao Yan refined medicine for him, he would hand over the remaining map piece and owe him a favor. However, Hai Bodong needed a Tier 6 medicinal pill, while Xiao Yan was only a Tier 2 alchemist. Since the map fragment was related to the Jinglian demon fire, Xiao Yan knew he had to obtain it. Following Yao Chen's advice, Xiao Yan agreed. The two returned inside to discuss the matter. The Ice Emperor had already gathered all the necessary ingredients except for the desert cacti stalk, which could only be found near the Snake Tribe's territory. However, due to the seal on him, Medusa would immediately sense his presence if he went near. Xiao Yan initially refused, thinking the old man was setting him up. However, the old man then revealed information about another heavenly flame, causing Xiao Yan to reconsider. In order to obtain the heavenly flame, Xiao Yan ultimately agreed to retrieve the desert cacti stalk for Hai Bodong. The map from the Ice Emperor didn't just mark the exact starting point in the Taklamakan Desert, where 3 strange fires existed near the highest peaks, but it also clearly marked the locations of the Snake People tribes. He'd been trekking through the scorching desert for over 10 days, practically melting, yet he still hadn't found what he needed. Taking this opportunity, Yao Chen had his disciple cultivate purple flame Du Kai. Xiao Yan, with practiced ease, presented his rear end for his little teacher, Yao Chen, to apply medicine. While diligently cultivating, striving to quickly reach the 2-star Dushi level, some idiot tripped and fell flat on his face right in front of him. Xiao Yan initially intended to just toss the guy a water bottle and leave, but the man cried out for help. It turned out he was a member of the Modi mercenary group, ambushed by the Sand Mercenaries. He pleaded with Xiao Yan to come to Rock Desert City and help rescue his comrades. Xiao Yan was about to leave when he heard the name of the mercenary group, and the names of its 2 leaders, Xiao Ding and Xiao Lai. He stopped. Near the Snake People territory, a man named Ma Lai was taking advantage of the Snake People's hostility to try and kill members of the Modi mercenaries. Just then, Xiao Yan's Xuan heavy ruler, hidden within his sleeves, pierced straight down, impaling the snake leader's head. Ma Lai tried to use the reputation of his mercenary group to intimidate Xiao Yan, but he was sent flying with a single blow. With just a few swings of his blade, all the villains were defeated. While escorting the group back to the city, Xiao Yan encountered a young girl being bullied. Compassion stirred within him, and he intervened to help her. Through Zhu Lan, he learned that the girl was of mixed human and snake people heritage, a King Lin, despised by both races for her impure blood. The 2 leaders of the mercenary group, pitying her, had taken her in as a servant. Xiao Yan apologized to the girl for frightening her and even complimented her beautiful scales. Zhu Lan led Xiao Yan to the Modi mercenary group headquarters. Near a room, they encountered the 2 leaders. The elder brothers were overjoyed to see their younger brother, now grown. That night, the 3 brothers drank and reminisced. Xiao Yan learned from his older brothers about the deep-seated blood feud between the desert dwellers and the Snake People, and how King Lin, with her mixed blood, suffered prejudice and rejection from both sides. He empathized with her, having experienced similar ostracization in the past. He offered words of comfort and encouragement, and the 3 continued their cheerful conversation. His brothers learned that Xiao Yan's unusual physical condition had been resolved, and that his strength had increased to the Du Shi level. He expressed his gratitude to his brothers for defending his honor in the past. In truth, his second brother had wanted to take Xiao Yan with them back then, but their missions were too dangerous, often bringing them close to death. The next morning, the 3 brothers were still drinking. Xiao Yan declined their invitation to join the mercenary group, citing a promise he had made and a 3-year deadline he had to meet. He revealed his purpose for this journey, to find a heterodox flame and increase his strength. His second brother, unable to persuade him to stay, playfully sparred with him in frustration. He was surprised to find that Xiao Yan could now match his strength. Laughing heartily, he and his elder brother offered the support of their mercenary group to aid Xiao Yan in his quest. Knowing Xiao Yan was searching for a different kind of fire Yihuo and looking at the extremely detailed map in front of them, the 2 brothers couldn't find any unusual locations. Suddenly, King Lin beside them cried out in fear. She said that there seemed to be something strange in the eastern part of the Stone Desert City. Half a year ago, an incredibly powerful aura appeared outside the city. It was somewhat similar to the snake person bloodline within her. That aura was far stronger than even the leader of the Sand Scorpion mercenary band. Their leader was a great Dushi, so that aura was at least that of a Du Wang. Based on King Lin's bloodline sensing, could it be Queen Medusa? King Lin further explained that half a year ago, a massive energy surge erupted in the east of the city. Moreover, when the being left, it was injured. Although a long time had passed, the queen's residual violent energy would occasionally erupt. King Lin could sense its general location due to her snake person bloodline. She bravely offered to lead Xiao Yan, though the location was unfortunately close to the Sand Scorpion mercenary band's territory. On the Sand Scorpion mercenary band's side, Ma Teng, the sole survivor, reported back to his boss. He ordered his men to prepare, determined to personally settle the score. Xiao Yan, along with King Lin, Zhu Lan, and members of the Modi mercenary band, rode to the location marked on the map. The older brother guessed that what his younger brother sought must be underground. Fortunately, they had someone skilled in terrain analysis, so finding the underground passage shouldn't be difficult. After a long search, they finally found the entrance. Xiao Yan rushed over, intending to descend, when members of the Sand Scorpion mercenary band started to harass them. "Damn it. We tried to be reasonable, and you don't listen. Who the hell are you to talk to us like that?" Xiao Lai lunged forward, intending to beat the man, but Labo, their leader, stopped him. Xiao Yan intervened, telling Labo to control his men. Ma Teng, standing beside Labo, continued to provoke them, infuriating Xiao Yan. "This damn scheming bastard, I'll burn you to ashes with Yihuo." Seeing Xiao Yan easily incinerate Ma Teng, Labo, terrified and believing Xiao Yan to be a Du Wang, trembled and agreed not to harass the Modi mercenary band again. Xiao Yan, looking imposing, made a gesture, as if to say, "Keep your eyes on me." He then reached for King Lin, picked her up, and jumped straight into the pit. The others followed. After sliding down a long slope, the group finally reached solid ground. They walked and walked, the heat becoming unbearable, their tongues practically lolling out, but still no sign of the strange fire. Before their eyes unfolded a vast, subterranean world of lava. Their eldest brother, a cultivator of the wood element, found himself severely weakened in this fire-dominant environment. It seemed Xiao Yan would have to proceed alone. The two older brothers wondered if their younger sibling would actually have to swim through the lava. But then, purple wings sprouted from Xiao Yan's back. With a flap of his wings, he flew ahead to scout the situation. Mid-flight, King Lin noticed something pursuing Xiao Yan and quickly warned him. To their horror, two monstrously large serpents emerged from the lava and attacked him, spewing flames and chasing him relentlessly. A massive explosion rocked the area. The eldest brother and King Lin feared Xiao Yan had been killed. But this was Xiao Yan, the protagonist. He wasn't about to die so easily. Thanks to the intervention of his teacher, Yao Chen, he managed to escape the twin-headed fire spirit serpent's attack. The serpents, using the lava, conjured a multitude of fire snakes to surround Xiao Yan, yet they couldn't harm him. Failing to defeat him directly, they targeted his companions. The eldest brother grabbed King Lin and narrowly dodged a fiery strike. At that critical moment, King Lin suddenly awakened a latent serpent bloodline within her, causing the serpents to pause. Seizing the opportunity, Xiao Yan swiftly decapitated both heads of the larger serpent. King Lin, however, collapsed unconscious. Upon waking, she announced she sensed the location of the strange fire and urged them onward. She then summoned the two-headed serpent they had just fought. A strange connection had formed between her and the serpent, allowing her to sense its consciousness. Yao Chen explained that King Lin possessed the Bich Za Tam Hoa Distrocletter 183NG 3-flowered green snake pupil, a unique trait found only in descendants of humans and serpents, making her a natural counter to snake-type magical beasts. The twin-headed serpent informed King Lin that the strange fire resided below. Yao Chen then deployed his bone-chilling soul fire to protect Xiao Yan as he followed the serpent into the lava. Xiao Yan swam for what felt like an eternity until the bone-chilling soul fire began to wane. Yao Chen, existing only as a soul, could do little more. Xiao Yan had only half an hour before the protection faded completely, and he was incinerated. Just as he decided to turn back, the serpent whipped its tail, sending him plummeting further down. Miraculously, he stumbled upon the earth core heart flame. Though only ranked 19th among the strange fires, it was perfectly suited to his current needs. However, upon reaching the bottom, the strange fire was nowhere to be seen, plunging Xiao Yan into despair. Seeing his disciple's dejection, Yao Chen comforted him, advising him to accept the possibility of failure and find peace in letting go. Heeding his teacher's words, Xiao Yan regained his composure. Suddenly, Yao Chen noticed 7 colored snake scales nearby, indicating someone else had been there before. Only Medusa, the beautiful snake queen, possessed such scales. It seemed another journey was in order.